Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Harakak Badash, and double honors to the old apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same and teaching the same. All right? And the title of this lesson will be Starships and Rockets. All right? Starships and rockets. Okay? And in this lesson, of course, the starships represents, the chariots of the Lord and the angels. Okay? Because if you don't know, that's how the Lord Yahweh Shah is coming back to this earth. Okay? Who the world falsely and ignorantly calls Jesus. That's not his name. His true name being Yahweh Shah. Okay? So the Lord and the angels, they're coming back to this earth in those chariots, those starships, so-called UFOs. Okay? And they're prophesied to deliver the elect, all right, the hopeful elect that call upon Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Okay, the men, women, and children, all right, that's calling upon Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, the Lord is going to deliver his elect before those rockets, those nuclear missiles, are shot off and hit their destination. Okay. All right. So this Romans 13 and 11, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Right. So, the kingdom of heaven is very, very close. All right. Salvation is very, very close. Deliverance is very, very close. Okay. It's just a few more main prophecies to come to pass. All right. Mainly the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, the implementation of it, and the mandation of the mark of the beast. Okay? Because they're going to corner you into taking the mark of the beast. Okay? The same thing with C-19, okay? And that was a precursor or a test run, but the same formula is going to be used for the mark of the beast. All right? The same formula is going to be used for the mark of the beast. It's going to get to the point you can't be in society. All right? And that's basically forcing you to take it. Those of you that don't have faith in the Lord, you're going to take the mark of the beast. Okay? But the time period is coming to where if you want to stay in this society, okay, and continue to continue to live this lifestyle, all right, and receive food and water, all right, and nourishment from this government, you're gonna have to take the mark of the beast. All right, because if you don't take the mark of the beast, you're gonna be off the grid. All right, trusting in Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Okay, trusting in the Lord. So our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Okay. So this revelation, and I just seen a chariot video. I think it was a woman. She saw a chariot, so-called UFO in Colombia. I think it was Colombia, somewhere. And it was vivid. It wasn't far away. The chariot was lower than the clouds. It wasn't trying to hide, and it was cruising. Okay? That's our salvation. That's our ticket out of here. So we don't have to leave America. We don't have to go nowhere. All right, we just gotta serve the Lord, serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. And when the time come, the Lord willing, the Lord gonna pick you up before the nuclear missiles come. All right, using those chariots. All right, and Salaki, I'm watching my surroundings. So this Revelation 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. All right, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saying he that receiveth it. All right, and unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write these things, saith the Son of God, who have his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. Okay, so we're laboring. All right, we're laboring to get that white stone. Okay, the whole point of the mission of repentance, coming back to the Lord, pushing His truth, teaching His gospel, is for salvation, to be delivered, all right, out of captivity, out of these, this sinful flesh, these chains of darkness, and attain immortality, okay, and to enter into that rest, okay, because true rest is going to come in the kingdom of heaven. All right, we're not going to get it on this side. You're not going to get true rest, true peace, all right, on this side. Okay, and every time I read that precept, I think of the movie The Knowing. All right, when the angels in that movie, was giving the children stones, whom they saved from that, that destruction. All right, but this Revelation 15:2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. All right, that's the bottom of the chariot, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass. All right, having the harps of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Okay, so the sea of glass is the bottom of the chariot, the so-called UFO. All right, and when it says mingle with fire, because the elect is going to be looking through the bottom of the chariot, all right, which is able to be made see-through like glass, and you're able to see the destruction, the nuclear destruction that's going to be happening, via World War III. Okay, when they reach that nuclear point. All right, but by then, Yahweh Shah is going to give the command to the angels to deliver the elect before those nuclear missiles, are shot and hit their destination. All right. So it says, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, Yahweh Shah, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord Yahweh Almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. All right. And we're going to, Lord willing, them of that number, Lord willing, but we're going to rejoice, okay? And celebrate being delivered, out of this hellhole, and being delivered from that, horrendous destruction and judgment, okay? So this is Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, that's talking about the Great Awakening. All right. The Great Awakening, the Lord woke up the prophets, used the prophets to wake up, the rest of the 1/3, the rest of the elect. All right, the prophets are all men, the 144,000, and the rest of the 1/3 is men, women, and children that listen to the prophets. Okay, so that Great Awakening, in verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. All right, and they ascended up into heaven in a cloud. That cloud is talking about a chariot, so-called UFO, and their enemies beheld them. Okay, so that proves that there's no such thing as rapture. All right, there's no such thing as a rapture. Okay, the enemies, 2/3 of our people, and the other heathen nations, they're gonna watch the elect Israelites be beamed up into the chariots, be beamed up into the starships. Okay. Okay, and the same hour was there a great earthquake caused by the nuclear missiles, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and which is a completion. 7,000 represents completion. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Okay. So everybody in Babylon the Great is gonna that's not of the elect, they're gonna perish to nuclear missiles via World War III. Okay. All right, and it says the remnant were affrighted, because the remnant is gonna be moments, before those nuclear missiles hit their destination. All right. The remnant, the elect chosen, is going to be delivered. Okay. And Lord willing, them of that number. Just like in the movie The Knowing, soon, like very, very soon after the elect in that movie was saved and delivered, that's when the fire came. That's when the fire came. Okay, but we understand according to prophecy and according to the Bible, the lake of fire is going to be caused by nuclear missiles. Okay. So Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to end it and give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shah B'Hashem Hakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, willing to teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same, teaching the same.